Danny Flexen here for Seconds Out with the matchy pairing of Dave Coldwell and, of course, Jordan Gill. Guys, headlining second straight show, this time in Nottingham, extending your reach from Peterborough, growing influence. How do you feel about headlining in such a well-known venue, somewhere that obviously Cole Froch distinguished in the past, for example?
Exciting. I've never boxed in Nottingham before, so it's a lovely city. I'm expecting a big crowd in, and hopefully make some noise for us. So, you know, I'm excited to be back in the ring so quickly and headlining again. What more can a fighter ask for?
Dave, as Jordan goes up in levels, which is happening at quite an accelerated pace now, what are the new challenges you find that perhaps you didn't when he was in earlier in his career?
He's had to get used to guys like yourself, you know, interviews and cameras following him and little documentaries and things like that. But I'm opening him up to that, so he gets used to it now. You know, his last couple of fights, he's gradually been building up on it. So I'm welcome to that because as he goes up the levels like I expect him to, he's going to get more and more of that, and I don't want that to be where he then starts feeling pressure because he's not used to it in, you know, big high pressure fights. Don't get me wrong, each fight's pressure because of what it brings and what it leads on to, but he's growing with it and he's adapting with it and he's taking it in his stride, and that's the main thing. But then on the boxing side of things, we're adding to his arsenal and to his game each camp. So then he's adapting and he's growing as a fighter as well. So, you know, it goes hand in hand really.
What do you know about Tinoco? David Diamante, who I trust relatively implicitly, says he's coming to win. Does that help you in a sense because it allows you to open up more, gives you more opportunities?
I think it will. If anybody comes to win, it's a good sign, and it does present the opportunity to present themselves. So, you know, I'm expecting a tough 12 rounds. I don't know much about Enrique Tinoco, but you know, he's Mexican. They're all tough over there, and like I say, I'm expecting a hard 12 rounds.
Is it a conscious thing, I'll ask you both, before you get to world level, that you do experience some different styles, particularly these South American guys, Argentine guy, Mexican guy now? Is that kind of important because that's where the top level fighters are at your weight?
Yeah, I think so. You got to be able to adapt and overcome and deal with whatever's in front of you. So the more styles and nationalities and etc. that you have coming through the ranks, then the better, because it's more all experience in their locker.
And is that also, Dave, because there's quite a big jump from domestic and European level to the world stage?
Yeah, I'm a big believer that there's a massive jump between, you know, being a good fighter at domestic and European and then getting into world level, world class, true world class. There's a massive jump, and so you have to prepare for it accordingly. It's no good, you know. We've been in the game for years, and I know we've spoke about it in the past where we've seen fighters where they're being given a padded record, they're taking on guys that are on this level just to get a ranking, and they get the ranking that puts them into a shot against somebody that's real, and they get found out and get exposed. I don't want that to happen with Jordan because he's a true talent, and he's got fantastic attitude, fantastic ability. He's got everything there. I just need to be able to build him in the right manner. It's not about rushing him and rushing into world contention. You know, we know exactly where we're at. It's only his last handful of fights where he started having tests and guys that are coming to win, and that's an important part of his development. So we're bringing in different opponents, different styles, creeping up levels, and then we can take the bigger jumps. And you know, next year, that's where I see him, you know, banging down some doors really.
Talking about opponents that could potentially bridge that gap, the Board of Control have ordered a fight between Jordan and British champion Ryan Walsh, both from similar areas of the country along that east coast, both big ticket sellers. Could be a massive fight, but is it going to be one of those British fights that we all want to see but doesn't quite come off for one reason or another?
Well, I know after Ryan's last fight, his brother was saying that they've been at domestic level for so long. I mean, when was the last time you had a British champion making about 7 defences? You know, it's unheard of now. Usually they're progressing onto a European, onto a world, something like that. But he's never had that shot and that opportunity. So we understand that if that's the avenue that they want to go down, then fine. All I'm bothered about is his development and bringing him on as I see fit and as what I want to do. If that means that Walshers have got nowhere to go that fight happens, then that's a massive fight in Peterborough. You know, we saw what he drew in Peterborough for his first fight there, and his first fight headlining on a Sky bill on the last year.
And sold the majority of those tickets out your own hand, right?
So something like that is going to be absolutely huge. So that is a fight that could happen, but we'll see. Listen, all I'm interested in is get Friday out of the way, because that's a tough fight. That's a real fight. You know, Devin Haney, who's seen as one of the world's best prospects, the world's best fighters that are coming through. You know, he's an eliminator for a world title next. He had a tough night's work with Tinoco. You know, he gave him a good fight. And that's at lightweight. So, you know, Haney can punch at lightweight. So this, you know, we'll see. This is a real fight for Jordan, and it's a fight that he's going to soak up a lot of experience and learn a little bit more about himself, and then we can talk about what happens next.